Hello everyone and welcome back. Today's video is part of the Windows tutorial series. The objective for today's video is to learn what the Windows control panel is and what it is used for, as well as its different components. For this video, the idea is just to get you guys comfortable with the control panel and with navigating the control panel to find different settings. So we're not going to actually be configuring any settings, we'll just be kind of going through the different sections of the control panel. Let's get started. Alright guys, so this is the Windows control panel. As you can see here, there are many different settings that you can configure. So I'll just be going through some of the different sections here, pointing out what you need to know and what you don't necessarily need to look at right now. So the first section that we'll be looking at is the system and security. Alright, so first of all, we have the security and maintenance section. So as you can see, you have different settings that you can set in here, such as the smart screen, the UIC settings, so stuff like that. You can also do troubleshooting and recovery. Another section that is very important is the Windows firewall. So for here, you can check to make sure that the firewall is turned on, and you can see what apps and features are allowed through the firewall. Another section here is the power options section. I'm not going to go through that section, but this is where you would say, like, if you want your computer to shut down every day at a certain time, that's where you would go. You also have the file history, so you can save backup copies of your files, backup and restore, so you can restore files if, for whatever reason your files got deleted or corrupted. You've also got BitLocker, which is where you can encrypt your drive. That would ensure that if somebody tried to log into your computer, they wouldn't be able to get in because they wouldn't have the password to unlock the drive. You've also got storage spaces, work folders, administrative tools. This is an important section. So these are all the different tools that you will be looking at. Some of the important ones are computer management, SecPol, which is the local security policy. You can look at the performance. So a lot of stuff in here. Task scheduler. Here's another way to access firewall. And you've also got Flash Player down here. And as you can see on the side, you can also look at some of the different settings from here. So from here this is another shortcut, so if you don't want to have to go back here to access network and internet, you can also access it from here. And then same thing when you're clicked on, say, firewall, you have different settings here. So going into the network and internet section, some of the important settings that you have in here. Here's the network and sharing center. So this is where you would go, like, say you're having a problem connecting to your network or to the internet. This is where you would look. You can troubleshoot problems, but you can also click here and look at the properties, and you can see here are all the different items. So if you're having a problem with your internet, you might want to look at the IPv4 section, see is your IP address statically configured, is it dynamic, that kind of stuff. You also have home group, and the internet options are very important. This is where you would go to secure Internet Explorer. This is your homepage on Internet Explorer. So if it's, taking you to somewhere different than where you want to be, this is where you would set that. You also have some security settings, privacy, content, connection. So if you want to set up a proxy, this is where you would go. Also infrared. Anything that I don't click on, by the way, that's still stuff you can look at, but not what you necessarily need to know right now. You also have the hardware section. So in hardware, you have devices and printers. You can see all of the devices that are connected to this computer. You can add a device or add a printer. You can also double click, and so here you can see different information. You've also got autoplay. These are the sound settings. This is another place to access the power options, the display options, if you wanted to make your text bigger or smaller, or if you want to change the screen settings, this is where you would go. Infrared can be accessed down here. Another important section is the program section. So here you can look at the programs and features. Very important. So like right now, there are no programs installed on this computer. But normally when you're working on a Windows computer, there should be a list of programs here. So like say you install Firefox or Google Chrome, it would be listed here. You could also turn on and off different Windows features. So as you can see, you can like turn on and off Internet Explorer. You can turn on and off a hypervisor. So like if you wanted to run a virtual machine, this is what you would use. That's what you would enable. So yeah, this is what you have access to. You can enable and disable, like you don't want Telnet enabled probably, so stuff like that. You also have the default programs. So say like if you have a PNG file or a JPEG, you can pick which program will automatically open. It'll automatically open in. So that's what default programs would be for. You also have the user account section. So you can, configure your account settings. You can also change the UAC settings. You can manage other accounts, so you can see, who else has access to this computer. You can change their password if you're an administrator. You can change what type of account they have, if they're an administrator or just a standard user. So stuff like that. You also have the credential manager. You also have appearance and personalization. So as you can see, you have different settings here. This is just, you can customize how your operating system looks. You also have the clock language and region. So if your computer has the wrong time or it's in the wrong language, that's where you would go to change it. And then you also have ease of access. So this will just kind of, change how you interact with the operating system. You don't really need to look through it right now, but these are still other settings that you can at least be familiar with. All right, so that concludes the tutorial of the Windows control panel. So my advice to you is to go through the control panel on a Windows operating system. Just kind of go through, look at the different sections, get comfortable with finding where things are located. Because for the most part, you're just going to be kind of configuring different settings here to start. And the more comfortable you are with the control panel and with being able to navigate it, the more easily you'll pick up on the different settings and how to set them. So, if you have extra time, just kind of look through this. That's pretty much it. Thank you guys for tuning in to this tutorial. And as always, let us know if you have any questions. Thank you.